first speaking gig of the offseason.
And get this, Caitlin Clark didn't even wait for the confetti to fall. She's already landed a massive off-season gig, and the wild part is it has nothing to do with basketball. While the rest of the WNBA is caught up in CBA drama and front office chaos, Clark is out here grabbing microphones and cashing in six-figure speaking checks. Forget layups and assists. She's turning her voice into her new jump shot. She's not even signing sneaker deals or doing commercials yet, just getting paid for appearances. Big money, just for talking. Now, the big question around the league is, are players upset with her or just in...
His last offseason was Caitlin Clark, $100,000 an hour speaking gigs. Well, I'm here to tell you, she is not taking long getting back to work, raking in the cash because she...
And this isn't just some small high school gym gig, okay? We're talking massive corporate events. Companies cutting six-figure checks just to have Caitlin Clark take the mic. Remember, last off-season when people laughed at the idea that she was charging around $100,000 per speech? Well, those bookings started rolling in fast. Now, barely a month after the season ended, she's already back on the circuit. It proves that all the hype wasn't just luck. It's pure leverage. While the WNBA is busy sorting through leadership drama and CBA debates, Caitlin is quietly turning her offseason into a business masterclass. She's not just cashing checks. She's building a powerhouse brand, and honestly, the league probably found out about it the same way we did, through Twitter headlines.
Do one right. She's landing $100K to speak to speak for companies and represent companies all over the country. She's not hurting for cash, and I just think this is just the coolest thing ever that Caitlin Clark is able.
So, here's the official news. Caitlin Clark has just been announced as the headline speaker for the Long Island Association's Fall Conference. And let's be honest, Long Island isn't just some random stop. It's where old money meets big business. She'll be joining President Matt Cohen to discuss her record-breaking career, her massive impact on women's basketball, and how she's shaping sports culture far beyond the court. Bottom line, Caitlin Clark isn't just another athlete cashing in.
Clark is headed to Long Island Association, bro. So it's stated Long Island Association joined the Long Island Association's president and CEO, Matt Cohen, moderates a special conversation with Caitlin Clark discussing her record-breaking performances, impact, and cultural influence on October the 29th at 10:30 to 12:30.
Look, this isn't some small charity gig. This is a full-scale corporate event. Tickets are limited, sponsorships are wide open, and the venue, the ultra-exclusive Holly Country Club, a place where broke isn't even part of the vocabulary. So yeah, Caitlin Clark is getting paid, and she's getting paid big. But here's where it gets interesting. Fans are thrilled, while the WNBA front office is quietly panicking. Think about it. When your biggest star earns in 1 hour what half your roster makes in an entire month, that's not just awkward. It's a crisis. The average WNBA player makes around $120,000 a year. Caitlin can match that with a single speaking gig. No sneakers, no fouls, no elbows, no refs pretending they didn't see anything. Just clean mics and applause. Meanwhile, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is probably pacing the boardroom floor, completely stressed, trying to prevent a potential player lockout. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Some players are fighting for better pay, while Caitlin is quietly proving she doesn't even need the league to thrive. Now let's be clear, Caitlin's not walking away from basketball, but this move sends a powerful message. Her brand is bigger than the WNBA itself, and that's exactly what has everyone nervous. Because when one player's face can sell out arenas and attract sponsors on her own, a very uncomfortable question starts to surface. Do companies really need the league, or do they just need her? That's the nightmare the WNBA can't afford.
Back to full health. Steph mentioned that it was kind of baby steps and getting back and making sure you don't lose what you've worked on this season. Just what are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need to get ready for, and I need to be able to find some runs and some ways to play 5-on-5 just so I can kind of get that feel back. And but more than anything, I think my main focus is really just getting my body healthy. And once we get back to 5-on-5, like just being able to test my body and make sure I know it's in a good spot where it's going to be able to hold up with everything that, we think we've corrected or we think we've worked on, to be able to know I'm in a really good spot there. And, when you go through injuries, especially in my scenario where it's been a few of the reoccurring kind of bouncing around, which isn't necessarily uncommon in my situation just because of compensation, and when you're dealing with things in that groin area, that just is kind of how it can go sometimes. I think it's important that you can become confident in your body again, and that's for anybody that goes through injury. So that's probably going to be my main focus is, just feeling 100% again, and then obviously, having that confidence in my body.
This off-season gig with the Long Island Association isn't just a side hustle. It's a calculated power move by Caitlin Clark. She's not sitting around waiting for the WNBA to fix its image or sort out pay issues. Nope. She's out here building her own empire, one high-paying microphone at a time. And trust me, the numbers are huge. Corporate speakers at her level earn anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 per event. Do you really think companies are paying less for the most talked-about athlete in women's sports? Not a chance. She's basically turning motivational speaking into a global brand. Think TED Talks, but with a jump shot. What's funny is how people online are pretending to be shocked. This is the same Caitlin Clark who turned college basketball into a national obsession, the one who had Iowa games trending higher than the NBA Finals, the same rookie who sold out every single away arena she played in. Did anyone actually think she'd spend the offseason relaxing on the couch? Please. She's cashing in while everyone else's PR teams are still arguing on Twitter. But here's why this really matters. While Caitlin is lining up her speaking tours, the WNBA is knee-deep in chaos. Nafisa Collier is clashing with the commissioner, Aja Wilson is under fire for supposed ref favoritism, and Kathy Engelbert, practically missing in action. The league desperately needed a positive headline, and Caitlin just delivered one. Except it doesn't belong to them. It's hers. That's the shift the league completely missed. Caitlin is defining her off-season, not the WNBA. She's too big to bench, too influential to silence, and too marketable to control. She's proving that fame can become freedom, that you don't have to depend on the system when you can build your own. And that's exactly what's shaking the WNBA to its core. Now, let's be real. Some folks in the media are already trying to twist this story. You'll see. Headlines like Caitlin Clark chooses corporate over team unity. Please, just stop. You can't fault someone for being smart. She's not abandoning basketball. She's expanding it. The season's over. She's not skipping practices or ignoring teammates. She's simply using her platform wisely, doing exactly what every professional athlete does when the lights go out for the off-season. NBA stars host camps. NFL players chase endorsement deals. Caitlin Clark gives speeches. The difference? She's finally being paid what she's actually worth. That's not greed. That's value. And the corporations writing those six-figure checks understand that perfectly. They see something the WNBA sometimes overlooks. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a global brand. Her fan base stretches from Indiana to Iowa to Europe. Kids overseas copy her shooting form. Parents spend hundreds on her jerseys. That's not hype. That's real influence. So when she lands a $100,000 speaking gig at a luxury golf club, it's not just about the money. It's a statement. She's reminding everyone that her presence reaches far beyond the court. Now here's why the league is sweating. Whether they admit it or not, the WNBA's biggest surge this season came from one person, Caitlin Clark. When she played, ratings doubled. When she didn't, they dropped. That's not speculation. That's data. And now their top moneymaker is hosting events they can't control, promote, or profit from. It's Caitlin's world. The league is just renting space in it. The media can downplay it all they want, calling it just one event, but history says otherwise. One gig becomes 3. 3 becomes 10. By 2026, Caitlin could be earning more from her off-season speaking tours than from her WNBA salary. And honestly, she's earned every penny. You can't have one athlete carrying an entire league. taking hard fouls, dealing with jealous teammates, and then expect her to sit quietly in the off-season. Caitlin Clark is choosing peace and profit. Some fans also wondered why she didn't join Unrivaled, the player-run off-season league started by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. The answer's simple: she doesn't need to. Unrivaled is great for players looking to supplement their income, but Caitlin is already earning that, and more, without risking injury. Why lace up for another league when she can make the same, or more, giving a speech in heels instead of sneakers? That's just smart business. Work smarter, not harder. This move proves Caitlin isn't just an athlete. She's a brand. A businesswoman who fully understands her worth. And for those saying she should use her platform to help others, she already is. By setting an example, she's showing every young athlete that you don't need the league's permission to succeed. You can build your own empire. And that's exactly what terrifies the WNBA. Because the moment players realize they don't need the system to make real money, the system loses control. Caitlin Clark just showed them how it's done. Shaq did it. Kobe did it. Serena did it. Now, Caitlin's doing it her own way. Make no mistake, this is just the beginning. Her Long Island Association appearance isn't just a big payday. It's a signal to sponsors that she's open for business. Next, expect the dominoes to fall. A new Nike campaign. Maybe a Netflix documentary. Maybe even her own basketball academy. All happening outside the WNBA's control. Meanwhile, the league's PR team is tweeting about unity and growth. Cute slogans. But unity doesn't pay rent, and Caitlin's not waiting for anyone to cut her a check. She's cashing them herself. Here's the poetic part. Her Long Island gig is scheduled for October 29th, just days before the WNBA's CBA expires. While the league braces for potential lockouts and contract chaos, Caitlin Clark will be sitting in a luxury golf club in New York, talking about leadership and success to a room full of millionaires. You already know the headline: WNBA faces lockout as Caitlin Clark thrives outside the league. And here's the truth. No matter what happens, she wins. If there's a lockout, she keeps earning. If there's not, she returns richer and even more powerful. Either way, Caitlin Clark keeps winning. That's exactly what the WNBA can't handle right now. The league feels one bad headline away from collapse, and Caitlin keeps proving she doesn't need them to succeed. She doesn't need favoritism, special calls, or inflated ratings. She's built on something far stronger: universal respect. Even her critics admire her work ethic. She's polite, professional, marketable, and laser-focused. No petty drama, no cheap shots, no social media spats, just quiet domination. That's what really scares the league. When your biggest star can step outside the system and earn just as much or more without even touching a basketball, it forces an uncomfortable question. What if she decides not to come back? If Caitlin Clark ever took a break or signed overseas, WNBA ratings would nosedive overnight, and she wouldn't lose a dime. Her value is untouchable. So yes, the WNBA is sweating bullets watching Caitlin trend again. Not for her jump shot, but for her business moves. And the best part? She's not even addressing it. No tweets, no statements, no clapbacks, just pure quiet power. Caitlin Clark just turned her offseason into a business masterclass. While the WNBA wrestles with leadership drama and internal chaos, she's out here building a legacy that pays, on the court or off. Let's be real. Caitlin's success doesn't just make money, it makes noise. When she plays, people watch. When she speaks, people listen. When she moves, ESPN covers it. That's when you know she's reached a level no other WNBA player has. And that's what really bothers the league. Because instead of